A New York State police trooper was shot by a suspect overnight in Nassau County, Long Island. Police say the trooper is recovering at the hospital amid an intense search for the gunman. The shooting happened around midnight in West Hempstead. Investigators say the trooper was shot after some type of altercation with a suspect who fled the scene in a dark vehicle.
Someone who is willing to fire a gun at a law enforcement officer is most certainly a dangerous individual. So in order to ensure the safety of the public, we would like to get that person in custody as soon as possible.
The vehicle is believed to be a black Dodge Charger with a temporary paper New Jersey license plate 997636T. The vehicle was described as having custom matte gray dual exhaust tips. The trooper was taken to Nassau University Medical Center in stable condition. And New York State Police asked anyone who may witness the shooting or have information to call them.